How you doing?
How are you?
Doing good.
Right.
So what time is it over in Dubai right now?
7 p.m.
Awesome.
How
Not
about you,
too.
man?
It's 10 a.m. where I'm at.
Okay, so what state is it?
I'm in Arkansas, in the United
Okay,
States.
nice. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
nice. Cool.
yeah. All right. Well, we'll get right into it. So you said that your experience comes from working with marketing professionals
Yeah.
and such. So tell
Yeah.
me little bit about that.
Okay, so I never had experience myself doing the marketing, but I've opened over the last 5 years, I think six businesses now, and I've worked very closely with a lot of marketing professionals, influencers, celebrities. So I would say my understanding with marketing has to do with trying to delegate and trying to put together a team of what I believe in would be good for the business's social media, for brand images, for different marketing, different promotions, and just overall image of the brands that I have.
So what niche have you really worked with on those brands? Is it anyone in particular, or is it several different ones?
I've had many different niches before, and the one I started off is with music. When I was 17 years old, in 2017, I had my own. I was into music production, so I figured out how to do marketing from just basic stuff like how to sell my own music. And as I grew older, I opened a recording studio when I turned 19. I got into the social media marketing side of that too. And then but the biggest project I did was in 2020 I opened a pet hotel. And we had four pet hotels. So the niche was really about dogs and trying to understand how the marketing of that works. And I got to work very closely with a lot of professionals there.
So were you opening those in like the Dubai area or
The pet hotels were all in the Philippines.
Philippines? Gotcha. So
Yeah.
did you move to Dubai after you had experienced some success in your business?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. So I knew I wouldn't stay in the Philippines long, but I knew that I was going to work and then make some money and then come over to Dubai and start new businesses here. So that's it. That's exactly what happened.
That's awesome. So for your personal Instagram, how do you grow that? Are you like actively trying to grow that, or does it just kind of grow organically?
Honestly, when I started doing Instagram maybe 6 years ago, I was actively trying to grow it, but after a while, I realized that I didn't want to focus too much on myself as a brand, at least at the time. So what I was doing was this: I was focusing on my businesses, and but I wasn't shying away from any media, any marketing that came with the business. So if there was let's say a news channel in the Philippines that wanted to do an interview, I was absolutely fine with it. I was fine with people knowing who I was, but I never made it. I was never active about trying to push myself as a brand.
Gotcha. So when you were trying to grow it, what was your strategy to try to grow it?
Yeah. So when I was trying to grow it at first, I really just didn't know. I didn't have a strategy per se because I'm the type of learner where I kind of learn as I experience things and as I learn from the people around me. So, but what what I wanted to do was I wanted to make sure, okay, I'm not good at uploading so often. I'm not good at making 3 to 5 videos a day, making stories, talking to a camera, putting my phone up, talking to it myself. But I always told myself that if when I'm doing social media, I always, no matter what, even if I'm only gonna upload once in that month or once in that week, always focus on the quality of content I put out.
Gotcha.
Always try to show the best of what I can show. If I'm posting about my business, post a really good quality photo instead of just posting to fill the content up.
Hmm.
And it did take a really long time for my Instagram to gain followers, to get customers, but I think it worked out in the long run because the important part was that I would follow trends, but I didn't, it wasn't my pages weren't reliant on the trends in order to sell a product, in order to make business. It was really long term growth, making making good relationships with the people that follow me, the people that consume my content, so that it was much more sustainable.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think that slow and just
Yeah,
long growth just adds to like relationships, and you get like kind of like a closer bond with your followers and stuff
yeah.
growing way and more organically and stuff. Are you managing any or working with anyone that's running social media pages right now?
Yeah, so in my pet hotel, I was working with um I'm not sure if you know who she is, Yassi Pressman. She's a very she has like 10 million followers on Instagram, and
No.
she has her team, and they do all these amazing marketing. They have all these marketing tactics and all these things, and they were teaching our people at my business how to do those types of marketing. But right now I'm only working with people I know personally, and there are times where even I'm the one making the artwork because I might not be an expert in marketing, but I really do believe that being able to be hands-on and understanding what happens with the marketing that happens in my companies is very important for me to be able to delegate the people who's working with me to know exactly what I'm looking for in the marketing itself.
Yeah. So you have your pet hotels. Do you still own those? Are you still running those now?
The main branch right now has been closed since maybe almost a year ago actually, but we have the other three pet parks, the outdoor parks that are still open right now, and it's being run by my business partner before in the pet hotel. So it's going good so far, but I have no
Oh,
involvement at the moment.
gotcha. So what businesses are you currently involved in then?
So in Dubai, when I first came here, I started doing events production.
Okay.
So we are doing like parties, yacht parties, renting equipment out to companies that would need it for their big events. We're looking for venues to do big parties in, big shows, bringing in big DJs, big singers, rappers, and all of that started because of the stuff I did in the Philippines.
I'm sure over in Dubai that's a pretty good
Yeah.
industry to be in. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
it's a really good industry.
How do you like Dubai? Because I've always like, it's Dubai. I've
Yeah.
always heard about it, and what's it like?
I think Dubai is one of those places you won't really understand until you're here because there's a lot of opinions online, whether it be good, whether it be bad. But one thing I can say about Dubai is it gives a lot of opportunities to people. If you have the capacity, you have the money, you have the skill, the work ethic, you can make a really good name for yourself here with not so much friction. And what I mean by friction is for me in the Philippines, it's a lot complicated to open a business because there's all of these the mess with the government. There's always problems and delays. Your applications might not go in as smooth, but here in Dubai, being a business owner, everything is a lot more smooth.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've heard about it. It's just like it's more straightforward. It's more just
Yeah,
it's a city that's built for business people and entrepreneurs and
yeah,
stuff to really thrive in and stuff. And that's what I've
right,
heard about it. So I know, like you basically said with the Philippines, over here in the States, to get anything done, it just takes forever.
yeah,
It takes so long to just do something that should be so simple. You just want one piece of paper that says, I'm a
yeah,
business. And you end up waiting like months sometimes. And it's just
yeah.
like this is ridiculous, you know?
Yeah, here in Dubai, actually, it took me, I think, 6 days from having nothing to having the business registered and my visas.
Wow. And
Yeah.
visas? That's
Yeah,
crazy fast.
everything finished in 6 days.
Wow, that's impressive. Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely would like to head over there and
Yeah, it's really worth a shot. If you
check
do
it
come,
out.
you gotta let me know.
Okay. All right. Sounds good, man.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions for me?
Um, I just wanted to know like what do you think is the most important thing for marketing in this day and age?
Marketing? Ooh.
Social media, I guess just social media in general, if I can rephrase the question.
Yeah, I think, well, my ideology on it comes from, if you've heard of Alex Hormozy or Grant Cardone, kind of comes
Yeah.
from them where it's volume. I think if you pump out a lot of volume, you get a lot of luck. It's like the
Yeah.
saying that Trump says. He says, the harder I work, the luckier I get. It comes down to that as
Yeah.
well. Where it's like if you put so much stuff out there, something's going to hit eventually. And I think it doesn't just come down to luck with that of, well, I put out 10 pieces of content, maybe one of them is going to go viral based on luck. I think if you put out 10 pieces of content, that's 10 chances for you to learn something about the audience, learn
Yeah.
something about the platform. And then you can learn from that, add it to your knowledge, and then make better content going forward. So I think the most important thing is just volume. And that's what we follow on our social medias that I'm a part of. We pump out 8 to 12 videos a day,
Yeah.
and across all platforms, we're putting out probably 100 pieces of content a day, if not more. So that's how we do it. It's just volume.
Yeah. I guess if I can just ask one last question, what do you think is the worst part of the modern way of marketing and social media? The thing that you wish wasn't that way.
Let's see. That's a good question. I think it's starting to shift now, but I think the problem is that people focus too much on the bling. I think that that's a big trend is people think they can't grow on social media without showing a Lamborghini in their video
Yeah.
or showing a Rolex on their wrist. And I think that that's kind of shifting a little bit somewhat. I think people are starting to like just the classic everyday person doesn't have a Rolex. The classic everyday person
Yeah.
doesn't have a Lambo. At least not here. Maybe in Dubai they do. But so I think that's starting to connect with people more, just being authentic and being the average Joe, but having something about you that stands out can kind of catch attention now. Whereas I feel like I don't know if you know who Jack Doherty is.
Yeah.
He annoys the crap out of me just because he literally just annoys the crap out of people to get money and then uses that money to rent cars and then uses those to grab more attention. And he's like the pinnacle of annoyance in
Yeah.
what annoys me about social media is I think people are too focused on using blingy things and eye grabbing things like that to get views, and all they care about is likes and views. And I think that is the most annoying thing about social media right now.
Yeah, actually, I think I might agree with you on that one. That is,
Yeah.
and it makes it a lot harder for guys like you and I because we're trying to push out quality content,
Hmm.
and it's hard when there's so much distraction of all the nonsense going around us.
Yeah. And the most annoying part of it is once you start making a little bit of money on social media, a lot of these, they're mostly kids that do it, will go rent a Lamborghini. And then it
Yeah,
looks like they have a Lamborghini. And then they'll go, and that's another thing that annoys me is the course sellers.
yeah,
There's so many people selling fake courses. Like if you're selling an authentic, real course, awesome. I think that's amazing. You're benefiting people that buy the course. That's great. But if you are just I mean, I've seen the videos where people will literally just go rent a Lambo, and then for $1,000 a day, they'll buy some fake money off Amazon that looks like they got bands, and then they'll buy a fake Rolex for a couple $100, and then they act like they're a professional in their industry, and they end up selling hundreds of these courses, and then they're just ripping people off essentially.
yeah,
And I think that's a very annoying thing. And I understand that there's a market for it, but it's not a ethical market, I
yeah.
don't think. And I find that pretty annoying about social media right now.
That is very fair, I think, man.
Yeah. Well, do you have any more questions for me?
I think that's all.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Well, if I'm ever in Dubai, I'll have to let you know.
yeah,
We can hang out or something.
yeah, man. Thank you so much for this time to chat. It was really
Yeah.
good.
Thank you for your time, sir.
Yeah, of course, of course. Have a good day, man.
You as well.